The smart TV market has ceased to be a simple competition between brands and has become a true war for technological and economic survival. In one corner of the ring, we have Sony, the Japanese giant that for decades was the undisputed king of our homes, selling more than 10 million TVs per year. However, by 2025, Sony's situation has taken a radical turn. The company has decided to abandon the fight for mass sales volume, to retreat into a bunker of exclusivity. Sony no longer wants to sell you the cheapest TV at the supermarket. It wants to sell you the Rolls-Royce of screens. This strategy has led them to reduce their catalog to focus almost exclusively on the ultra-premium range, with models like the acclaimed Bravia 9 or the Bravia 8 Mark II, which use such advanced image processing that many experts consider them unrivaled in terms of realism and natural colors. Before I continue, if you're enjoying the video, I would greatly appreciate your support through Patreon by purchasing a membership that suits your budget. It would truly help me a lot to keep creating content. While Sony is becoming more exclusive, the Chinese dragons, TCL and Hisense, have staged a massive assault on the throne that no one saw coming. According to the most recent data from 2024 and 2025, TCL has achieved a historic milestone, surpassing LG to become the second largest television manufacturer worldwide, reaching a market share of nearly 14%. Hisense isn't far behind, with 12%. What makes this data so surprising is that they no longer just dominate the budget TV sector. In 2025, TCL and Hisense are breaking records in the premium sector thanks to Mini LED and RGB Mini LED technology. They've gone from being secondary options to offering 116-inch panels with over 20,000 local dimming zones and brightness levels exceeding 5,000 nits. Even without going to such premium levels, Hisense and TCL continue to improve their mid-range and high-end full-array Mini LED TVs in 2025, offering models with more dimming zones and therefore better performance in dark scenes, as well as higher brightness levels. Sony, for its part, also decided to improve its full-array Mini LED TVs, albeit at excessively high prices, but at least they are Mini LED with full-array backlighting technology. Meanwhile, this year Samsung and LG decided to experiment with Edge LED models, offering them as if they were Mini LED TVs, which I consider a complete deception, and I hope that this won't be the trend in 2026, even though technically they could do it. Please, TCL, Hisense, don't copy this evil thing. But anyway, returning to Sony's place in this market, where it long ago ceased to be the sales king, the Japanese brand is betting on its XR processor, an electronic brain that attempts to mimic human vision so that what we see seems like a window to the real world. In contrast, TCL and Hisense are going for brute force, more dimming zones, more brightness, and gigantic screens at prices that Sony simply cannot or will not match. This gap has created a curious situation. While a high-end Sony television can cost more than $3,000, TCL and Hisense offer visually stunning experiences for almost half that price. This is forcing Sony to win over a very specific audience, namely cinephiles and image purists, trying to convey that the Japanese touch is worth every extra penny, even though Chinese brands are closing the quality gap at an alarming rate and at excessively tempting prices. Sony will likely remain the gold standard for film studios, but its relevance in the mass market could continue to decline if it doesn't find a way to make its technology more affordable. On the other hand, if TCL and Hisense manage to refine their processing algorithms to match Sony's colors accuracy in image processing, Chinese dominance could be complete, relegating Japanese and Korean brands to an extreme luxury niche. And of course, I need to tell you something very important. Look, from all the reviews and comparisons I've done until now, I can say that TCL and Hisense are brands that have been learning and improving. The first models of their smart TVs were quite ordinary, leaving much to be desired, especially those from 2020 and 2021. But since 2024, they've learned from their mistakes and improved things as simple as the design of their remote controls, and the smoothness of their operating systems, as well as more significant aspects like the sound power of their speakers, color accuracy, and, in the case of the mini LED models, maintaining the full array backlighting while adding more dimming zones for better performance in dark scenes. And unlike the Korean giants LG and Samsung, experimenting with their Edge LED mini LED models, which in my opinion are a complete ripoff. And well, Sony has also improved considerably, and its focus is primarily on delivering the kind of experience a film director wants us to perceive. But is that really what the average user cares about? For most people, that's not really relevant. Most people want TVs with good technical specifications and, more importantly, at very affordable prices. And this is where Sony needs to try to improve if it wants to reclaim its throne. Although I don't think that's the Japanese brand's objective, I sincerely hope that Hisense and TCL continue to improve, especially in the mini LED segment, or at least that they don't decline or try to circumvent the law like LG and Samsung did this year with their QNED 85A and QN70F models, respectively. I mean, it's true that the term mini LED doesn't legally require it to be related to full-array backlighting technology with local dimming, but that's what we've been used to since 2021. So they shouldn't try to change the rules of the game now. And as I said, I hope Hisense and TCL don't fall into this trap, even though they could legally do so. The big question here, then, is whether Sony can survive this Chinese onslaught while maintaining its high profit margins, or if it will eventually have to return to the mass market arena to regain lost ground. What is certain is that the user is the big winner. Never before has it been so affordable to buy a screen with a good graphics experience for our homes. And the fierce competition between Japanese perfectionism and Chinese industrial power is pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible to see on an LCD panel. That's all for now. I will appreciate if you can support me through Patreon by purchasing a membership. The link is in the description. You can also make purchases through the referral links I've included in the description and in the pinned comment. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.